Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Balwi, Medical Director at Elithair. In this video, you will learn everything about the DHI and FUE techniques. First of all, I would like to explain the procedure of a classic transplantation. This consists of three main steps. The first step is the extraction of the grafts with the FUE technique. The second step is the opening of the microchannels, and the third step is the transplantation or insertion of the grafts into those microchannels. The DHI technique consists of only two steps. As you can see, the grafts are first extracted individually, then the opening of the microchannels and the insertion of the grafts happens simultaneously. This is the main difference between the DHI technique and the traditional technique. From both a medical and a scientific point of view, the omission of the intermediate step of opening the channel is more efficient. Of course, the whole process is a bit more complex. I will now explain how it works in detail. First, we apply the local anesthetic. Thanks to the needle-free comfort-in technique, you won't feel the pain of the injections. Then we remove the individual grafts using the FUE technique. In the next step, we extract the grafts individually with surgical tweezers. Then they are inserted into the CHOI pen. Of course, we are very careful not to damage any grafts. Then we open the channel and insert the graft into the skin in one smooth motion. This happens without opening a channel first. I would also like to show you the results on a patient who had a hair transplant with the DHI technique. As you can see, the new hairline has already been drawn on, and here is the transplant area, i.e. the area of the new hair. The DHI hair transplant is ideal for thickening bald areas because we can transplant hair much more densely. We also use the DHI method in the tonsure area. The donor area of this patient is very good. Look, it is dense, natural, and has a high number of grafts. So it's an ideal donor area. Here you see the patient after his hair transplant. As I just said, this area was completely bald before. In the hairline, about 100 grafts per square centimeter were transplanted. The main thing we did was to make it look very natural. There were a few hairs in this area, but our goal was to make it denser, which we achieved. We also made the hair on the top of the head thicker. Now, let's look at our patient's transformation. First, let's see how they looked before. Now I will show you the result. Here is the result of our patient. As you can see, the hair is now very dense and natural. Let me explain the differences and advantages of our DHI technique compared to other traditional techniques. As you can see, the biggest advantage of our DHI technique is that we can transplant into areas with thin hair. In other words, thanks to DHI, it is possible to add hair to the area where hair is thinning. This is impossible with the old traditional techniques because the microchannel opening process would damage the existing hair. With DHI, we do not use the microchannel opening technique. Therefore, we can easily perform hair transplantation to thicken the hair. The second advantage is that the recovery is very fast. After a hair transplant with a DHI technique, redness and scabbing can heal in only 7 to 8 days. With the old strip technique, on the other hand, redness can remain for up to 15 days. A third and very important advantage is that we can transplant the hairs very densely. With traditional techniques, as I explained previously, a maximum of 80 microchannels per square centimeter can be opened. With the DHI technique, we can even achieve up to 140 grafts per square centimeter. And DHI has many more advantages. Whereas with other techniques, the risk of skin necrosis or other complications in hypertensive patients, patients with circulatory disorders or patients with diabetes mellitus, and other heart problems, the DHI technique is a completely safe and totally uncomplicated technique. So the DHI technique has these main advantages and more. If you want to have great results with the DHI method, you can contact our consultants. And finally, I would like to say that I'm very happy to welcome you to our clinic in Istanbul.